Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Talks with Fawole. We have the voice behind the camera, the wizard, and today on the show we have Saffron and Dee, two amazing ladies. I don't know what else to say, but I love them with my heart too. Welcome to the studio. Cool. Saffron.
Yes.
Dee.
Hi.
It's been a long time coming.
Long time.
Yeah. I have to say these ladies are part of my family. You understand? They've both got a piece of my heart. You already know that. I'm not gonna get too soppy right now. But let's talk a bit about what's going on here. So, Dionne, you are.
I am Dionne. I am Saffron's mother. I also have two other children. That's me, really. Saffron, amazing, black, beautiful.
I love it.
That's
I
me.
love it. The backstory. These two beautiful ladies, I've known them for a long time. And recently, Saffron passed, what is it? Is it the bar? What is it? What would it be called?
No, the law degree. So it's called a LLB. And it's at university. And yeah, I passed. Went to Hertfordshire.
Okay.
Got a first.
A first.
Have to keep saying that.
So first class is the highest grade you can get at university, basically.
Okay.
So it's like A star in school.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
How did you feel when she got the first?
It was amazing.
She screamed.
Absolutely. I screamed. I mean, she pretended that she hadn't got her results. So I'm there lying in bed. She comes in and says, "Oh, Mum." And I'm thinking, damn, you've crashed the car. And I said, "Don't tell me you crashed the car, Saffron." And she's like, "No, you know when the results come out, you get a 1, you get a 2, you get this." And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, "I got a first." I literally screamed, jumped off the bed. I couldn't believe it. I started crying.
He's happy, innit?
Very happy.
How'd that make you feel?
Amazing. I like to make my mum proud.
Oh, bless you.
I feel like that's why I do it. You know, when I get a grade and I go through school and I feel like I want to go home and tell my mum because I want her to be like, she always has the best reactions.
Yeah.
That's why I like going home to tell my mum because she's always screaming.
I love it. Let me talk to you about you, Dee. About your origins, where you're from, your background, your history. Tell me a bit about you.
Okay, my mother's from Guyanese background. My father's from Barbados. He was born in Barbados, but my mother was born actually here.
Mixed race?
No.
Okay, sorry. How would you class yourself as then?
I'm black.
Okay.
Some people might class me as black. What do you mean?
Okay, there you go. It's that's what I mean. When I say mixed race, I mean you're of dual heritage. So when I say mixed race now, because if your mum was from Guyanese, your dad was Barbados, that's two different cultures.
Races.
So like forget what the whole people like black, white mixed race. That's not the only kind of mixed race.
But do you know why I say this though? Because I come from a background where my grandparents were either half white or half Chinese. That's on both sides. Okay. So, and growing up in a white town, which I was born and bred in Essex. I was born in Billericay.
Billericay?
Yeah, Billericay. You know it's Billericay. Don't try to take the piss.
Sounds funny, right?
Anyway, so I grew up knowing that, I was black. And I always really just wanted to, first of all, you grow up trying to fit in with white society because that's what I grew up in. And then, so when a black person says to me, "No, you're dual national, you're this, you're that." No, I'm black. That's why I make a stand on so much that I'm black. And that's how I brought my kids up. You're black. No matter how people try to divide it, you're black.
Okay, yeah.
And that's the reason why. So that's my background.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. So your mum was Guyanese, your dad was from Barbados?
From Barbados.
Okay. Your mum was here, you said, born here? Or?
My mum was born here. My dad was born in Barbados. And he was that typical, his mother came over here and they all lived in one room. And eventually she brought her children over, and that's my dad's side. Whereas my mum's side was, as you said, a little bit more privileged. They were from her mother came from a black slave owner and a slave on a plantation. And because he was the son of the plantation owner, he kind of wouldn't stop going back to his black woman and having children. So he was actually disowned and given a parish in Barbados. So our family actually owns a parish in Barbados on my mother's side.
Your family name, do you want to say it? Or
my family name is Noel over there. And they still are over there. You'll see a massive house with the trees going down the driveway, and that's actually family to us. But the white family don't actually speak to the black side of the family. After all these years, that's how it is.
Okay.
So it's a bit different, and then my mother and father, they got married when my mum was quite young, because my mum was 17, my dad was 8 years older than my mum, and they had me. And I think because of their different backgrounds, my mum coming from such a privileged background and my dad coming from this working class background, it just didn't gel.
Didn't you? Yeah.
It didn't gel. And they eventually split up when I was 3 and I went to live with my paternal grandmother.
Okay.
And life from there
Sorry,
was...
what does paternal mean?
Father's side.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry if I'm
sad.
dumb. If I don't know anything, D, you know I love you to
I
bits.
know.
I will ask.
I know.
I don't think it's
great
silly,
of
but
you,
I will
darling.
ask. I will ask.
Yes,
But go on,
okay,
thank
okay.
you. You put that face and made me not want to ask. I start hiding under the table. Like, she's like,
Now. No,
Okay.
so I was raised in Basildon and Essex, and my mum and dad had this typical fighting over me when they were young, going through court. My dad wanted me, my mum wanted me, dad wanted me, my mum wanted me. Eventually, I went to live with my mum when I was 7 years old. Yes, I was at that point an only child. My mum didn't have any more children. My mum had my brother 9 years, who I'm 9 years older. That's another story.
We'll get there.
And my dad never had any more children.
Okay.
So I eventually, as it was in those days, I was very unhappy child, had very unhappy childhood, which I'm sure you'll draw out of me, but I had a very unhappy childhood, and, you know, being torn between two parents, growing up in a white society. There's a lot of issues. There was a lot of racism where I was, being called nigger, this on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think eventually I must have broke as you do, and I wrote my grandmother in Barbados because I was sent to a borstal. That's another part of my story.
Wow.
At a very young age,
as
a very young age, and that's where I now know that black children were kind of sent at that time if you were a disruption in schools and stuff like that, not trying to find out why is this child acting like that. Do you know what I mean? So I was sent to a borstal with older children, and it was like this massive place in Kent. And I remember just being dropped off there by the social worker, and I didn't see my parents again for a little while. So I grew up in there, and it was like survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
To the point when, you know, I had to I wrote a letter to my grandmother in Barbados, and I said to her, if you don't send for me, I'm going to kill myself. And that's how it actually was. So one day I went home from school. One weekend I went home from school. One weekend they let me go to my mum's. My mum had a plane ticket there, and I was off.
Yeah, you're dust,
gone.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. And I landed in Barbados, and I say that's when my life actually began with my grandmother there, and I had the best life ever. I went there when I was 10, 11.
Yeah.
And
You got that letter at 10.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I'm happy.
I want to give you something that she give you it. That's going to come later on. This one was a member of a very highly intelligent group of people. She will elaborate on that. When she told me this, I was like, yeah, you're right. But then when she broke it down, I'm like, nah, it makes sense. And so many of our people are so highly intelligent, but in pigeonholed, and it isn't celebrated. They're not allowed to flourish. So it makes sense that, whoops, Daisy, that you are who you are today.
Yeah.
But it just makes sense that you can write that letter at 10 as well. But go ahead, let me not tell your story for you. Tell your story for yourself. You hear me?
So I went to Barbados, and I lived that island girl life. I loved it. I went to the top schools over there because obviously I'm going over to the privileged side of the family, yeah? So I'm going to the top schools, and I'm just this black kid. Now, going back to the black thing. Let me do this. Going back to the black thing, right? So, I'm this girl going up from here, white society, trying to fit into white society, and this is where my thinking of the black comes into it. And I went over there thinking, I remember being on the plane, which I travelled by myself.
Wow.
And I was,
What was that plane? What was that plane ride like?
It was daunting because I was going to a family I didn't even know. It's not like I'd ever met my grandmother.
Yeah. Get close to the mic. Please.
So I was going to this family I did not know. I vaguely remembered what they looked like, and I was just put on this plane, and I was going. It's an 8-hour flight.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I remember the doors opening, and that heat hit me for the first time. And I said, that's the day I became black. That's what I said. That's the day I became black. Yeah. And I remember thinking, how am I going to recognize these people? And I could see these people waving and everything, and I'm just waving back thinking, I hope the hell those are the people I'm supposed to be waving at. These people are just going to take me away. And I thought, yes, I'm actually going to be with my black people. This is my time. And to think at that young age that I was thinking like that, I'm going to be with my people. And then when I got there, it was
white.
Totally different. No, it was totally different. Because now we are in a caste.
In a caste?
Like whether you're got how close you are to your white blood, to how straight your hair is.
So
to your
the class
Now,
system
this
came into play.
Class system is coming into place, and
Okay.
I'm like, what the hell? Do you know the struggles that black people are having, like say in England, and now you're trying to divide us here?
But at that young age, you was thinking like that.
Yeah, because my mum never knew her mum was mixed race. She remember my mum grew up in London when it was the era of the Black Panthers in America, and my mum was the one going to school with the black socks, and she had the black glove, even though she was over here trying to put her mixed race hair into an afro with as much products as she bloody could, because she's trying to make it stand up. So that's the thinking that I came from, and then to go over to Barbados and just to have this separation, it was just mad to me, absolutely mad. But I had a good life over there, really good life. And then when I was a certain age, I came back over here, and I went back to school over here, and I finished school, and then I started working. And
what age did you come back over here? I don't need to just skip over stuff.
I know, it's because it just sees a lot of my story right now. That's the only way. We've got
time. We're going to talk. We need to take it easy. There's no rush.
I'm trying to just get through it.
I know, and I appreciate you even talking about this stuff.
Because I've never talked about this before.
Not to me before, and it's something that's definitely obviously close to your heart. Everyone's got a story. That's why we're here on Life Talks, and that people have to listen as well.
Yeah. And
me understanding your story now makes a lot of sense for me. It makes a lot of sense that you are the mother you are, that you are the woman you are, and the reason you're so strong. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to rush over that, because some of that can help other people seriously.
I think I'm so strong because I was an only child through the struggles of my parents splitting up, and I just felt isolated. Then I was sent to a borstal and I was isolated. Then I think I'm making this journey to another country, and I was then again isolated. So I've always had to think, do you know what, I've got to do this by myself, and that's how I've always got, and I think that's how I've kind of grew my kids in a certain aspect as well.
But that with inside you have to understand, when you put different people in different people's stories, they don't make it through. It takes something to make through that story, because another person next to you wouldn't have made it through. There's so many similar stories
true.
where they fall through between the cracks.
So
you was isolated, but you've got inherent power. You've got something within inside your character, your genes, your DNA that makes you the woman you are. And it definitely has translated down to your children. Seriously, and I know that. I can say that hand on heart. You even know that. You've seen Almighty Butterfly. We've got this. Saffron's coming soon. She's about to let us know about Saffron soon. Sitting quietly there, but you're about to explode like a star. Come on. But it goes for your children. So please, you have to, let's acknowledge that. Let's celebrate that.
It's nice when someone like you points it out, that's something to be celebrated, because when you're going through it, you just think that's just the way it is. That's just life. I haven't done anything special. I don't feel that I've done anything special till it's actually pointed out to me today. You know what?
You're amazing.
Look at other people. They haven't actually got this relationship with their children, or they haven't gone through all this drama and got through the other side. But when I've found with experiences that I've got through life, I'm able to speak to a lot of different people, and I seem to people with not problems, but seem to gravitate towards me. And I'm able, and I think only within the last 5 years I've kind of taken that on board, and I will sit down and talk to people like my own life experiences and things that I've actually gone through, and in doing that, it's healed me quite a bit on like the trauma that I have gone through, because I have gone through a lot.
So we're gonna come back to your story as well. Saffron, she's your mum sitting over there, right? What do you see? What does she mean to you? Because for me, I could stand there and say, so she's a goddess. She's strong. For the people gravitating towards you, the stuff you've been through, you're still strong enough to help other people and do stuff. But that's my perception. To you, what does your mum mean to you? What do you see? Because you grew up watching her and everything. So let me let you talk.
My mum means everything to me. My mum is so strong. And the reason why people gravitate towards her when they've got problems is because she's a healer. And when she says something to you, she'll make you feel like it's not the end of the world. Look, I done it, so it's okay. Look at my experiences. That's what she's like. So my mum means everything to me. So strong. If I could be half the woman that my mum is, then I've made it. Do you know what I mean? She's so strong. She had far less than me. And she's grown us all. We're all flourishing. No problem. So I'm proud of you, Mom.
I want to cry as well. Seriously, you don't understand. D, what she's saying is the truth.
I am. I've seen your struggles. I've seen my mum's struggles. I was the youngest, so I was next to my mum when she was going through a lot of things. Like when we was growing up, and maybe she sent my sisters to university. We might have not had a lot of money. My mum always made sure I had everything. She would do everything to make sure I had everything. You wouldn't think that she's gone through what she's gone through with the
Yeah,
life that I've
at all.
lived.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that.
No.
So yeah, like I'm proud of my mum.
Oh wow! Do you know? Like, I feel you, Saf. Like I'm serious. I can hold back my tears.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I'm
tearing up
proud of
too.
my mum.
You don't understand. You've helped me through stuff as well, D. That thing what you said, where
Healer.
she's just, come on, get up. I've been
Yeah.
down, and I say it honestly, hand on heart.
yeah.
You know me. My life. Sometimes I've been down, and I've called this woman, and I've said certain things to this woman, yeah, and she's like, "Come on, Ayo,
Yeah.
get up. You can do this. What you?" And she just pulled me out of holes.
Yeah.
Hand on heart. I swear to God. So what you're saying. It's the truth. You don't seem to understand your power. That's why I proclaimed you as a goddess. There's people in our lives. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't care what anyone else wants to say when I proclaim my love and my admiration for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got admiration for you. There are separate reasons. I could
Yeah.
talk about you, but this is about you right now. There's people that have done stuff. Even my other friends have done stuff, and they don't realize it's just their second nature.
How much you've done, yeah.
And how much they've done for
Doesn't
you.
realise.
How powerful, how important they are, how integral to your life. Times where you would have gone this way. Just
Yeah.
that one word of saying, don't worry, you got it. Or, you know what I mean? I've been through it. We can make it, let's do it together. Do you know what I mean? Or, like, my one was like, shut the fuck up, Al, you got this. Come on, Al. That's what she told me. And you said the same to me. It's like, come on, because you know it. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, get up and do what
Yeah.
you should do.
Yeah.
What's all this moping about? And you're just amazing. And you've done it. And it shows for your children. It shows for the people around you. Trust me. Like, you don't make us nearly cry again, you stop this making us nearly cry, right? So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to D. So you come back from Barbados.
Yeah.
Barbados. Come back from Barbados,
I
right?
came back from Barbados, and I went to school back over here. I think I came back when I was 14, 15 years old, and I finished school in here, and then I went on to college, and then I went straight into work. I just wanted to get out of Basildon. I wanted to venture down into London. I'd had the
So you went back to
Basildon.
So that was your mum was still there.
My mum,
Okay.
my mum and my dad also lived in Basildon, but obviously they separated and divorced many years ago. But I didn't really have a relationship with my dad once I went to live with my mum. Didn't have a relationship with my dad at all. And that is another story. But I finished school, went to college, finished college, and I decided I want to get out of this town. I've got to get out of this town. I need to be with my black people,
go
and that
slow,
is it. So then, because there's so much of my life, there's so much of my story. It's just like unbelievable.
So maybe we have to bring you back in separately or something. Don't worry, we're gonna do.
No, we're crying.
Yeah, no, you're crying. It's good. Show emotion. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
So I then went to work for HM Revenue and Customs, and at that time you had to pass an exam to get in there, and I actually passed the exam, and I went in there, and I stayed there for 22, 23 years. In the meantime,
In customs, sorry.
In customs,
Hey, one for you, this is for your eyes. And this one's for my head because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cheekily do my eyes. Come on. No, serious, I was that close. Now. You stop. I love both of you so much. You be careful when you do this one. She was in customs.
Yeah, I was in customs for 22, 23 years. So I raced from being an admin assistant, and I went up to really, really high to the point I was burnt out after like 22, 23 years.
Yeah, you worked really hard. Can I? Yeah, go ahead.
So I went from admin assistant, and then I went up to executive officer, then I went up to higher executive officer, then I went to undercover. So I was like one of those people. Yeah. So
nice. Can I just ask you, was the level of your intelligence, when was it found out? Like the stuff you told me about, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. I want to talk about it. Was it before or after customs?
It was during.
It was during.
It was during that
Please
time.
let the people know. Please let people at home know what time it is. Please.
Okay, so what I revealed to Io one day was that I was actually a member of Mensa. And I don't even know if my kids know I'm actually a member of Mensa.
You know what Mensa is?
No.
That's why you passed with a first girl. That's why you got a first girl, because you got the G's, you got to hand it down. What are you talking about?
And that only
Explain it.
came about because they put something in the paper and they said, if you can do this puzzle, then you should apply. And I did the puzzle, and it was really easy to me, and I applied, and then you become a member because they do this test on your intelligence. And it was, that's it.
Mensa's like, it's a level of your IQ. It's like people with really, really high IQs are members of Mensa. I don't know the real ins and outs of it, but just to say you've been selected, you're a member of Mensa, you know about that kind of stuff, right? It's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just you don't just pass exams, you've got a brain in your head.
Yeah.
And I think that also could have attributed to your resilience, your strength, your power, your fortitude. You writing a letter at 10 and certain things, the level of your intelligence. And in a lot of our children, in a lot of our black family, the intelligence level is so high.
It is very high, but
You
people
get
don't
pigeonholed.
channel it.
No, you get pigeonholed, like you said, board stools, but it gets labelled the wrong thing.
But black parents also pigeonhole their children.
Very true.
I can only obviously talk from my experience, but I've never pigeonholed any of my kids on what they wanted to do in life.
Do you feel like some of your
Well done.
growing up in Essex helped you to give your kids a different side? So obviously it had its bad side.
No, because I've not always lived in Essex with my kids.
Okay.
No, but do you think that
But me growing up in
the white kind of dominated
right,
things?
I could say yes in a part because obviously I see how white families are. As simple as I
Tell
said
me what you
as
saying
I-
in
You
Essex.
said that because you said some black parents do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
They don't really nurture.
they don't nurture. But it's a hard one. You asked me today. You asked Saffron about her boyfriend today, and
Yeah.
you're saying what he does, and I immediately said, well, you find with white Essex boys that they've always got a skill.
Yeah.
They've always got ways of making money, whether they're electricians, they've always got a trade, right? And that's what they're geared to. As long as you got a crash trade, you're fine. You know, that's it. And their girls will predominantly stay at home mums, and they get looked after by their husbands, and that's how they're brought up. And that is not in our society. That has got broken down somehow.
I think, but also, would you say that it's a lot easier for them? It was a lot easier for them being white in this country to go into a trade and do the trade and get through that trade course.
It is
The way they're
easier.
received within the trade courses, the people that hold the keys to the doors in the trade courses, and so on and so forth. Not shunning us black people, but if I say I want to be an electrician or this or that, there's examples of it. Some people got fathers, cousins, uncles. This one is done, so it's a lot easier for them to get into it.
But if you really want it,
Of course, I know some serious electricians. Like that's
But
you know, did you?
We kind of looked at the trade people. We kind of looked down on them back in the day. And I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
that's where we went wrong.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Some of my friends like that. I remember my friends saying, I want to be
Paint and decorator,
no, what's the one with the wood? Sorry,
carpenter.
carpenter. He wants
yeah.
to be a carpenter. And I was like, carpenter? Come on, aim higher than that. But it was like, nah.
You're
knew what he
always
wanted
gonna
to do.
need-
Solid,
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's
solid
like,
foundation.
we never really got told trades was the way.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they did.
We never got taught the right way, never got taught the right things.
I won't put that one on culture. I'll put that more on society because they doctor, lawyer,
Yeah.
Like you're pushed towards certain things. But trade was never like trade is like, oh, if it doesn't go well,
You can do
find
that.
a trade.
Yeah. It was always a
Yeah.
fallback where it should have been the first plank sort of thing. Because when I look at people with their own, I've got Digi's coming on here soon.
Yeah,
Ben,
yeah.
he's an electrician, good friend of mine, a black man. He's amazing, and his family's amazing too. But he's got a trade. Like he's in that funny area down the road, like with a lot of white boys. But that trade, it feeds your family. It can
It
keep
does,
you going,
all
and it's
the time.
amazing. And it's just, they're not show us. They don't show us.
Looked at barbers before. You know what I'm saying?
Barbers, yeah. They used to laugh at them.
There wasn't the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole
Eh.
different thing.
Yeah,
Barbers are looked at like
yeah. Of course,
It's
they
nec-
are.
it's
Always
necessary.
is. It is
Someone
necessary.
necessary.
Yeah.
It's
You always
necessary.
need someone that provides a service.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what people don't understand.
Serious.
yeah. It makes sense. So going back to Essex.
Going back to Essex, moving out of Essex, going back down to London, working for customs for all those years, and
Becoming a
that
member of Mensa.
I remember
Even that whole
Mensa.
custom thing, I wanted to ask some more questions on that.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Undercover.
Go ahead.
Oh, so what? So actually, what was it?
Yeah.
So I was in tax fraud,
Yeah.
and we had to kind of follow. Well, we go in, we look at the books and records. We notice there's a fraud. You come out of the business. Now you start to watch the business. You go whatever trade it is. You will kind of put yourself in there so you can see what's going on. Okay, and then you follow the money. You see, well, certain trades.
Yeah.
She used to eat in restaurants and sit there and eat and then see something wrong and be like, yep. I need to check the books. I need to check the books. Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
what she used to do.
I love that because I know that's one of the businesses that you could get away with a lot is
Yeah.
food.
Food,
And if you got-
hospitality,
if you're
always.
not-
And
so
you
if-
would order the most food. When you used to come home and you say, yeah, I ordered this, and then I saw something wrong on the till. And I saw someone pocket something.
That's what I wanted to ask you next as well. At what point, like, when did you have your first child as first, second, because you got three, so you seeing this, so.
I had my first child's Danica.
Yeah.
She's 31 now. She has a child of her own, and she's got another one on the way.
Danica's lovely. All your children are lovely though.
Danica.
They're all different parts of you.
All different
They're all different
parts
parts
of
of you.
me.
Yeah.
And I had her when I was 19.
Okay.
So when I was at college, I met her dad. You fall into this love thing, and
Yeah.
he was my everything. And we had a kid, and we moved down to London. Her dad comes from money.
Okay.
So we had bought our own place by the time we were 18.
Okay.
19? No, 19 we bought our first place together. So imagine we were, and it's horrible to say now, but we were these privileged teenagers.
That's good. You're lucky. Listen, look, you come from D, yeah. You deserve something nice.
These privileged, we like rolling around with a baby, and we had not a care in the world.
Yeah.
It's like money problems never touched us.
Yeah.
And we were living in Southend and living life.
Yeah.
And we came down to London because of my job. And I think we were just too young. I'll say to today we're good friends today, and we were just too young, and it just didn't go right. We came from very different backgrounds, and I think he came from a more privileged background than I did. Yeah, very much so, and it just fell apart. But we went our separate ways. We did go through the baby mama dramas where we were angry at each other. He was angry at me, I was angry at him, and we just went our separate ways to the point where he never saw Danica from the age of 4 or 5 till she was then again 15. Wow. Yeah. When I put my foot down, I put my foot down. But he had his family was so privileged. They had a private investigator trying to find me, so I actually had to hide because they were going to take my child and basically take her away from me. But I had to hide, and I hid for all those years.
You're good. You're smart. Don't muck about with Mensa brain. Come on.
With me, yeah. Even though he could have probably found me because he actually worked for customs as well. But I'm better than him, I guess. So.
Customs just based in the airport.
No.
Customs is anything that comes in. It's all different. There's all different departments.
There's all different departments of customs.
Her Majesty's.
Customs.
It's at the airport when they're bringing stuff in, which is now called the border agency.
Yeah.
But no, customs actually dealt with. Imagine all the revenue that the government takes in. Yeah. That kind of governs it and makes sure that everybody pays it. That it's make sure it's paid on time, and that's what it is.
It's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Customs at the airport.
No.
It's a lot, bro.
She was a checkout.
No. As I said to you before, I was in the tax fraud business, so it was big companies, massive companies that I was looking at. Their fraud could be millions. And it's from the basic fraud where they're definitely doing fraud, or it was a case of they're using the tax.
Talking about fraud, quickly.
You're not actually doing that, are you?
Talking about fraud.
You're actually not doing that. You're not actually bringing out the donuts.
Talking about fraud. These lovely young ladies, there's this place that they said they're going to bring me donuts, right? This box supposed to have 6 donuts in it, yeah? Talk about fraud. Look, there's only 4 donuts in the box,
You should be lucky that you're trying.
Yeah, no, I'm happy, but you told me it was 4
No, it has like 2 hours to get here, yeah?
Yeah,
man's got hungry.
They afforded me. I've been defrauded 2 donuts. You can see the emphasis in there.
You didn't even think he was getting more than one.
Yeah, I just like
and
to say.
And you got a box.
I love them both,
you
but
got a box.
I was defrauded. See, I was defrauded. But I'll taste this one on camera because I love a bit of food.
No, you're not supposed to taste. You're supposed to taste that one because that one's the best one. It's that one, the apple one. That's the best one. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I hear eat them all.
You keep talking.
Of course you will.
You keep talking about what's the enemy story.
Okay.
They teach you a lot as well.
Yes, because remember I came out from the bottom, so I had at that date. In those days, you had to take exams, and exam upon exam. Remember, you're taking in policies, you're taking in laws that change all the time. There was even a part of my career in there where I actually was in the department. I decided to expand myself and come out of the field I was in and went into the department where I was writing the law. So there's parts in customs that are implemented now that I actually wrote. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either, and that is because there were loopholes that people took mick out of to change it so they couldn't do it again.
Yeah. Plus, I wrote.
You didn't know I knew about that, did you?
At one point, I wrote the training package to train people within customs that actually could be able to identify this, because once the one closes, another loophole opens. Yeah. So you always got to be on top of it.
Sorry?
In it, all I can hear is your lips smacking.
I'm sorry.
All over the thing, smacking.
Got carried away there, you old Timmy.
In it.
What about when you're chewing on it? I'll put it away.
In it.
All about when you're chewing. I'm sorry. Go on. Let's rewrite the law. No chewing on live talks, okay?
Wow.
Right.
That's what he's
donuts. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go on.
Okay, we know they're nice.
Yeah, go on.
So I had. You want to go back to Danica? I had Danica, and we split up. I came down to London, and then I had Amani. All three of my kids. Another thing is have different fathers. Amani, I married Amani's dad.
Fantastic.
He came from a Jamaican family, and I had her 3 years after I had Danica. Wasn't expecting to have any more children, but he convinced me to have a child. Yeah. And then
happy did. She's amazing, you know. All your kids are amazing. She's a wild one.
She's a wild one.
She's the wild card in all of you lot.
Yeah, she's the wild side, I think. And I had Saffron when I was 29. Okay. But obviously relationships break down for whatever reasons, but you kind of move on.
Do you think that your children kind of reflect the kind of energy or the person you was at the time you had them when you had them?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
That's why they're different parts of me.
Yeah.
Danica I had when I was young, different way of thinking. Yeah. But she's had to live through the others.
Yeah, I know.
Other relationships that I've gone through, which has made her the way she is. She's
mummy.
She's the mummified. She's the serious side of me.
Tells me off.
Tells you off, yeah?
She tells me off. Tells me about money. Tells me I need to fix up.
Helps you. She helps you.
She does help. She mentors me, I would say. She's like a role model, Danica. She will tell me off more than my mum will tell me off. Yeah. About something, yeah.
It's good.
Older sister's always like second mum.
Yeah, you're second in command. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, second in command, yeah.
Sometimes she's actually the first in command sometimes.
She actually is.
There's been times in my life, downtown times in my life, where she probably has been like the strong one for me.
Yeah.
You know, she's been there for me to talk to cry to, you know, so maybe at times, which I look back now, she's had a lot on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And her childhood, for me, and you only realise this when your children grow up, that you've rushed their childhood. You wish you could go back to that time where they were young and you probably dropping them off at the childminder and then going to work, and that's what your life is, making sure that they're fed and watered, and you're not thinking about the smaller things that they might have missed out on. But when you talk to my kids, they will say to you they never missed out on anything, and I find that really weird.
But I know your children after the fact, right? After when I meet you, how old is you? About 10? 10? About 10? So then that makes Amani what?
Amani would have been, she would
17.
Be 18,
17, and then Danica what?
21.
They were well-rounded. They respected you. They lived a good life. As far as I'm concerned, like, everyone always says this, that, and the third. I'm not trying to take anything away from what you're saying about they could have changed this, they could have changed the other. But what you have in front of you is a result of everything that was done. Yeah. Like, and what you have in front of you is a great fucking result.
Yeah. I always say my biggest accolade and the thing that melts my heart the most, when I thought that I was going through the traumas of life and trying just to provide for my children and making sure that they're well-rounded and they went to the best schools and they had everything that they needed, but they wasn't spoiled. Never spoiled.
Yeah, I love that.
And they turned around to me in later years. I think Danica she turned around, and Amani, I think you have as well, and said to me, do you know what, Mum, we had the best childhood ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And you think to myself, at least, and what a parent should do is your child should not have to, whether you've got baby father dramas, whether you've got money problems, children need to be children. They need to have a childhood.
Give me some. Yeah, no, it's not a lot of people know that. Seriously.
They don't need to know that you and your baby dad's at each other's throat, or there's angry words being spoken.
Yes,
you don't need to know
I want to put a pin in that right now. Give me that, please. Can you hear? Listen, parents out there, whatever you're going through, no, it's a serious thing. Whatever you're going through, the child doesn't need to go through it with you. Yeah. The child is innocent within that. You got problems with your partner, fair enough. We're human beings. But think about the child's life, their future, their disposition, how it affects them. Don't put them through these things. I put baby mother dramas down here, or family dramas, because so many people are going through them. Detach yourself from your own emotions and think about the child that's involved. Because when you do that, you're a parent. I know, I've got faith in you. You love that child, then do right by them. Simple as that. Love yourself, love life. Let's continue, please.
Can I ask you, what are some of your most fun child memories?
Well, just
can I
generally,
say one? Oh, no, let me leave you. I'm going to give you one later, the eyeball one.
Oh, you eyeballing me.
I want to tell it now because he said it. She can say after, right?
I'll say mine after.
Yeah, so when Saf was younger, yeah, the day Saf was younger, like, and I was around Saf and the family and everything, yeah. Yeah, so Saf was really upset one day, and it's like I was trying everything I could do to get her out of being upset. You know, she was you 10 or 9? How old are you?
Probably 9.
9. I've done everything, like danced across the room, was juggling, offered her money, offered her everything under the sun, right? Food, everything, and she was just like. I swear to God, like stone face, and I just wanted to make you happy, make you smile because of how happy you guys made me. I didn't know what was going on with you. But I tried everything. So that's what I did to her. Are you eyeballing me?
I remember it so well.
I'm sorry, it was just so beautiful. It was such a moment. It might not consume as good as it was at the time, but it's a memory that I can't let go of. And you as well, it was just such a beautiful thing. It's just like, that embodied the laughter and the joy that you guys have within you as a family. It always came out and came through. Talk about your childhood now. I'm sorry to overtake
my
you.
favourite childhood memories... Probably that my mum just done anything. Like, we would wake up on random days and then she'll be like, okay, cool, somebody pick a theme park. Then she will pack lunch, load us all in the car. We'll go theme park for the day and come back. Or she'll be like, okay, who wants to do this? Okay, cool, pack lunch, get on the train, go down to London, go to the museum. Yeah, it was just random. That's what me and my sisters would talk about. We always had days out, and she might have not had a lot of money. We'd have fried chicken in the bag, salad packed up in the bag, but we still did it. Around London. All the time. That was my favourite memories ever. Didn't take a lot, just being out. I think that's the one thing about you, though, Mum, when we were young, you always made sure we was out. You know, I see kids nowadays, they're just sitting at home on their iPad. All through summer holidays, just at home on the iPad. I was never on... No. You was out. You used to lock us out sometimes. She would say, yeah, go and play out. If you come back, then you're not going back out. That's what she used to say to us. That's what she used to say. You knock on the door one more time, you're not coming back out. So, all right, cool. That's my favourite memories. Random days.
Those are
the
best days ever. Not planned at all. And you let us pick. And I remember one year I picked Butlins and everyone was angry at me.
Serious?
Because, we got to pick each year what the big stay away thing was. I was like, I want to go Butlins. And my sisters were older. They hated it. My mum packed us up in the middle of the night and we left. Hated it. She hated the food. Yeah, you did it for me. But they hated it because it was a young...
That's lovely when you could do something for people you love, but you don't want to do it.
Yeah, they did it anyway. Even my sister was like, why'd you pick Butlins? Of all places we could have gone, Butlins.
How did it feel being the youngest of the 3 siblings coming up? How did you...
I feel like I was privileged, to be honest, because I feel like my sisters gave me everything. Like Amani, she would tell you she used to pretend that she was called Doodles, and she used to take all my sweets and but she would act it out to me and it would be so funny that I think, oh yeah, I'll give you sweets, and she'd go, oh, Doodles, and I used to give it to her like, oh, it's Doodles. But I liked being the youngest. Danika's like a mum. Danika's I think I'm very, very close to Danika because she's just... Danika is how I feel like I want to be in terms of how she's so stable. She knows what she's going to buy a house. She's had her kids at like 30. She's just how I would want my life to go. So she's like a mum. And when we were younger, she was like a mum. That's what I said. She would tell me off.
What was it like in school? Because I know I was who I am, but being in school having 2 big sisters, how did you get through school? Was it, talk to me.
Well, we never went to the same schools. Amani, she was in her olders. I think she in juniors, and I was in.
You was in infants.
Infants one time.
There's 7 years between you.
But it was never like my school knew my sisters because my mum moved me to Essex, so no one knew who I was.
So you moved back to Essex where you came from? Was it the same era?
After I had Saffron. When
I
Saffron
was in primary school.
Yeah, when I moved
year
out of
6
London,
or year 5.
Okay.
I decided that was the time to move back. For one, ways of schools were at the time, and I didn't want Saffron to be growing. There was a lot of girl gangs, and Amani went through the girl. Eventually, so we moved. I used to live in Hackney at one point, and then I eventually moved out till I ended up in Dagenham, which I thought would be okay. And then I had experience of Amani and being in a girl gang, and because she had to be in a girl gang, and because of the colour of her skin, and it all came to this bullshit again. And I was just like, this is too much. I'm growing my kids a certain way, and in Dagenham at that time there was a lot of African girls, African families, and then there wasn't that many West Indian families.
No, but you know that there's the difference. You know when they make a difference. Like I feel like black people should just be black people, but when I went to school, it was like, oh, your mum's Caribbean. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was like when I went to school.
So no, wait, so your mum's Caribbean, so what's the next thing after that? Your mum's Caribbean, so you're good, you're bad, you're what?
No, so it would be like your mum's Caribbean, so you're not part of us. Like you're not allowed to be in the African girl group. Then it's like, but your dad's Nigerian, so
hey, hallelujah, celebrate, I'm on Niger.
So you're not allowed to be.
Look at him.
Yeah, I'm on Niger. Hey.
So do you know what I mean? I don't really fit anywhere. So I feel like with black girls, it's very like, oh, well, you're African or you're Caribbean. But then what about if you're both?
But that's why I said that the word black is irrelevant.
It's just, it's just
kind of like everyone else, they get referred to from their countries, like you're Turkish, you're Greek. Like, we're the only ones that have, like, we're all from different places, but we're all black.
Yeah.
But no one else claims, we're not even actually black, we're brown.
I'm not black like this. Exactly, I'm not black like this.
So, we're not
getting started.
We're not allowed to say brown, because brown goes on too much, it covers too much of the human race. You know what I'm saying? So, if they say you're brown, then everyone's kind of brown in some sort of, either the lightest brown or the darkest brown.
Yeah. I think I see things a bit differently, because my family's very mixed up, very mixed up, because we're from, let's say we've come from one melting pot, and then my family's very open to every race. Okay,
one race,
right, to every race, and you will never notice the difference between, and I'm sure you've been to my family things, you never see the difference between the white ones, the mixed ones, that everybody's the same. Only when we're in the corner we want to cuss each other, then we're going to say no. But that's just jokes, you know what I mean? So, and then my kids as well. Danica looks Asian. Okay, and then I've got Amani, who you've seen. She's light. And then I've got Saffron, so they're very different. And I think maybe I did that on purpose.
Again, like I say, even within us, even if it was two brown, another brown set of brown people, we make all different tones. And you have a child with someone that if there was such thing as black and white, then we would be grey kids.
That's very true. It's true.
That is actually true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
Sorry, my lips. So
I know that.
Smacking.
That's all I can hear, and that's all I can see as well. I'm like,
that is gratification for the food that you brought me.
You enjoyed that one though, didn't you?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was that the apple one.
Yeah. I saw it going in.
Come on. Don't kill me. Don't let me choke on a donut. So you come back. Okay, sorry.
Yes, swallow.
Take a moment.
Coming back. I'm not taking another donut.
No, you don't need to.
You sure?
No, you've had enough. You can save some for later. You know your mum says you can have some later.
I don't know when I get any more anyway, so I'll take time and savour the flavour. What was I going to say? So moving back to Dagenham, yeah? With Saf and the school system. For you, how was the school? How old was you when you moved back with her?
When I moved back to Basildon, you mean, from Dagenham?
So
she was in primary school, so
five.
she was about 10 years old now.
So how was the change in school for you? And then one more question. Sorry, in that question, have you always exercised the intellect that she's achieved now, getting the first? Come on, hold on, let me get the first. Right, come on, we're gonna keep doing that. Oh, we're getting the first. Come on, 3 times, might as well get the first. Did she exercise that same intelligence? Was it apparent then? Has it been apparent throughout school?
Not my intelligence.
Yeah. Like when I say that, I mean like academically. Did you know? Like while she was doing good in certain tests at school, was she? Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I knew from an early start that Saffron was. I think she's very highly intelligent.
She's a Nigerian in her.
Oh, whatever. She's very
Mensa man.
Come on.
I noticed it, but I don't know. Yeah, she is intelligent. She will cry at every exam. She actually holds. I'll let her speak to you about it. She actually holds.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
When
Give it
she's
to me.
doing running, she hasn't even told you about that bit.
Oh yeah, she's athletics. I forgot. What are you talking about?
I cried before every
Run
race.
like the wind.
Yeah, I cried before every single race. My mom used to say, "Come on, wipe the tears, stop crying." I used to be like, "Okay, cool, I'm ready." But you know that was my plan because I thought if everyone sees me cry, they don't think I'm that fast. They would think, who's this girl?
Yeah.
And then when I started running, it was over.
But the thing is, she went into that just as, I'm going to run. And then she was district champion.
In county champion, English schools.
Wow.
You don't usually get academic and athletic.
Together.
Yes.
Yeah.
All rounder. Well done. Well done.
So she did that, and then she played rugby for a little bit.
I did. What else did I do?
Everything you wanted to do.
And then I went on to long distance.
Yeah.
Do you think
I did like 1,500 meters.
Yeah.
And then I did cross country. And my mum, I remember I said, "Mum, I'm going to do cross country." And she turned up. She was thinking I was going to be at the back. I came through first.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah. And
Come
then,
on, let it be
but I
known.
think I can do anything.
Good. And you can do anything.
Anything.
You can do anything. Say it one time.
Anything.
Yeah.
I
Come
can
on.
do anything. It's even now I do lashes. Like I'm an eyelash technician. I started my own business. That's not something you would ever think that I would do from anything else that I do. But I'm good at it.
Yeah. I think you'd be good at everything you actually do.
Yeah, like anything I put my mind to, I think I can do. No one can tell you can't do anything.
I love that. And I can just hear your mum talking through you and you talking through your mum.
Exactly.
And it's amazing, man. So do you think that because you moved back to Basildon, then you never had to worry about, well, not worry about, there wasn't the distractions we have here in the city, like gangs, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
She was allowed to go and do maybe cross country and just see what, you just try anything.
But I think those opportunities are in other areas. I can't say it's not in London. There are opportunities in London because Armani did running in London. I think
but I don't think they come down on
I think I moved for...
And dance, Armani did dance.
And dance as well, sorry. I think it made my heart a little bit easier. I had less to worry about. I didn't want to worry about, because with Armani, I had girls coming to the school with knives and stuff like that. So I was a constant worry for me, saying they're going to cut open her face and she thinks she's so pretty. Because
she was so beautiful, jealousy.
Yeah, and I had all that to go through, and I didn't want Saffron to go through that. And that's the main reason why I moved. And it was for the good, really. It was for better.
Yeah. Can I just say, you're a beautiful woman. All your daughters are beautiful as well.
You.
It's like, God bless all of you. Very well. Very well. So, the law.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you and your choices of university, because you've come through school, you've done athletics, you've done everything in school. So, what made you decide to do law? Why did you go in that direction?
I think I've always wanted to do law, because my great-granddad used to tell me, like, what did he used to say with... He just used to say I always used to talk a lot. And I just,
and fight your case.
And fight my case. So, I've always wanted to do law. And then I tried to fight my mum against going to sixth form. And she told me, no, you're going to sixth form, you're not going to college. So I went to sixth form and they were strict. And I had to wear uniform. It was basically like school for another 2 years. And then in sixth form, I did law there and I wasn't even supposed to. And then I thought, no, this is me. And then I went on to uni and I done that.
What aspect of law were you not going to?
I'm not too sure. I don't want to say because I don't know. Okay. I haven't tried enough areas of law to know, but I think I like commercial and I like criminal.
Okay. So what did it take for you to get through that, to stay focused and everything? Because for me, what I see in front of me, I won't say despite of, even though I know what sort of mother you are, I know what sort of background you come from, I know what sort of background you come from. Now within this interview I found this out. Being a young black woman in this society, in this world, with the amount of distractions there are, even with the things you was given, with the amount of distractions there are, the amount of things that are stacked against you, and for you to achieve this, for you to have that foresight and that dedication, that focus, like it's a lot. It's a lot. And now you're benefiting from it, because you could say you could do this, that, the third. Like,
but her mum built a world for her where that wasn't the case.
Sorry?
Like her mum built a world for her. That wasn't the case. You know, like we always get given this thing where everything is, you know what I'm saying? The way she's made it, like, it's just life's been good.
Because I feel like I've been, this has been my mum in front of me, this has been me, and that's my mum. So she's got all the outside bits away from me. I've never really had, I don't want to say I've never had that.
But so beautiful, you know, seriously.
Like I feel like I've always just been focused on my set goal. My mum gave me everything to make sure all I had to do was focus on my set goal. When I was in school, all I had to do was focus on my GCSEs. When I went sixth form, all I had to do was go to school. When I went to uni, all I had to do was get to uni. Do you know what I mean? All I had to do was get the grades. So, and she praised me at every step.
Yeah.
I don't feel like parents do that enough. I feel like it's a happy thing for me when I go home and I tell my mum, I done this. She'll be like, okay, cool, I'll take you out to somewhere where you want to eat, or I'll get you this, what you wanted. Like parents don't do that. They're like, oh, okay, so what's your next steps? That's what parents do to my friends. Whereas I feel like for me,
celebrating that moment.
my mum celebrates it. Like my sister was like, oh, where we taking you to eat? Then I'm celebrated in my house.
Oh,
so I feel like
amazing.
I want to move on to the next step because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get celebrated. So. Yeah, I think that's what's driven me, really.
That's beautiful, man. I love that. I love that. Seriously.
Do you know what's beautiful about her age and the things that she's achieved already? It's the creating of options.
Yeah.
You know, like, I wouldn't even ask her, which way do you want to do with your lot? I just think, Matt, you created so many options for yourself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think that she should, even if she doesn't want to go down the law road.
But I think that's like something that I touched on earlier when I said about my girls. I never pigeonholed them. I never said that they had to be this and they had to be that. All I said, whatever you choose, make sure you love it and you do the best at whatever you are, whatever area you go to. I mean, Danica, she went into the more career side of stuff, where she's now she did travel and tourism, and then she came out of that and she worked for the Olympics. She done all that kind of stuff, and she was more of a traveller. She was always out the country, travelling here, travelling there. Then she came back and she's kind of settled down, and she went into, which I was surprised at, she's now a building manager in central London for a big group, and she earns good bucks. That's why she can now have now she can have her children, because I said to my girls, never have children before you're 30, and they haven't. So despite what I did, just make sure you don't. Make sure you live your life, enjoy your life, so that when you have your children, you can enjoy your children.
But that's what
You've
say.
got time for your children.
She says, do as I say and not as I do. That's my mum's number one thing. Do as I say and not as I do. You don't
let me make the mistakes, and I'll tell you.
That. What he just said, to live your life. Exactly what he just said.
When I said that you have to live your life and enjoy your life, so that when you have your children, you can enjoy your children. I feel that I didn't always enjoy my children. I want to be the one to make all the mistakes in life. That is, I feel that I don't feel that I've missed out on anything because of it. Because I can sit down in that chair, be an old lady, and look at my kids and my grandkids and feel such happiness that the road that I have laid. They've walked it. You know,
Makes it all worth it.
Make it all worth it. And I'm very open with my children. Maybe that's another thing, because I say to them, I'm human. I've made biggest mistakes. I've done things that probably I might have regretted, but I enjoyed it at the time. You know,
it's good.
If you want to go down that road and you want to do that, well, this is what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, this is a better way. Do this way. And you will see it. And I think maybe they listen to me, so they've done that. I mean, they're not perfect. No one's perfect.
We're humans.
They're using the tools that I've given them, that they're going to have a good life, and their children are going to have a good life.
Saffron children.
My children will have a good life. When I have children. No, I don't want children anytime soon. That
was the question I was actually asking you.
Anytime soon. I'll probably be 30 before I have kids. Because I feel like I want a career, and I feel like it's sad, but for women with a career, if you need to have your kids after, or you need to be so set in your career and have such a...
It's reality.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. People say, oh, why can't I have both? And you can have both, but who's looking after your children?
Not me.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to have my.
Whoa. Not me, as in you just saying not me. I'm not gonna. You got your life to live as well. You're doing a bit. You've done your tour.
I mean, I always say to my kids, one, breed up in my house, right? And I'm not looking after your children.
Yeah, you've done your.
I've done I will help, and I will help as much as I can. But you're the mother. Yeah, that's it. Simple as that. And I think maybe that's a fear that they think, well, mum's not going to take her. No, she ain't.
But I can't explain how much in awe I am of everything, your family. I'm so happy to know. I love you. You know how much I love you guys anyway. But to have that, and I think I've lost my point, but to have that and to have such a solid family foundation, so you got the opportunity for these things to be aside, and you can go out and choose to be whatever you want to be. In this day and age, being a single parent, even though your dad was around, being a woman as well, and it's like you've done it 3 times in a row.
Hard.
It's hard, but it's doable.
It's doable,
it's
but
amazing.
it's hard. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I don't put it as like, oh, I'm holding this medal or this badge or whatever. I wouldn't put it on anybody. There was times when I was eating cereal with water so that my kids could have food.
Yeah.
So it's not all glowing, far from it, or
Yeah.
where I will go to work and not have food all day just so my kids could eat in the evening. It
Yeah.
was hard, Ayo, I'm telling you.
I believe you do.
But I've come up the other side, and if I can school somebody with my experience
Yeah.
and what I've been through, well, it's all for good, isn't it? Really?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
right now, we don't know who this is reaching right now.
Yeah.
We don't know who out there right now is literally. It's a choice between them eating or their child eating,
Yeah.
and literally between them actually taking shit from billion people so their child can eat, so they can get to the next
Yeah,
level, or say
exactly.
or think about their own ego or their own personal self.
Exactly.
I'm saying
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
seriously.
It's true, and
you're
you say it
fucking
like
amazing.
that.
No, you're amazing, and so are you. And so are you, and so are you. But it's about these guys. No, seriously, you're amazing. And it's a breath of fresh air to be able to have you on and celebrate this kind of stuff. Armani's episode's coming out soon. And maybe we get the league, I don't know. Maybe we get all four of you at the table at one point.
Oh my
that will
God.
be a show. You know what I'm saying? That will be a show. But to have this in this day and age, there's so many negative, what's the word? Connotations, yeah. So many negative examples of life. So many negative examples, like they only show us the negatives in the news half the time. You know what I mean? They're talking about this and BLM and so on. So 21 and you got a first. Right? 21, you got a first. You got 3 children. You're a single mother, right? Even you have and all your children are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
OMG, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to stop here. You're going to ask some more questions. But I'll tell you something, right? It's because you got a first, because I love you so much. I've got something for you, you know.
Okay.
And I was holding it down. I was holding it down for someone special.
Yeah.
And you're special to me, okay?
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to look at your face. He's all happy.
I'm
now.
like, what is
He's
it?
giddy, yeah. He's giddy. She's giddy. I'm going to bust you right now. As a youth man then will say, I'm going to bust his little son.
Yeah.
Right? Hold tight. One sec.
What has he got now?
This is for you, young lady.
Ah!
I don't know which way it goes. That's for you, though, yeah?
Thank you.
No, careful. Open it.
That's what I
Open
wanted
it.
to do.
Careful.
Caviar.
I love you. Yeah?
Thank you. I like a little bit of liquor.
It's not.
After exams.
Yeah. No. This is for you to celebrate whenever you're ready to celebrate. Yeah. I don't know what it's gonna taste like, but it's of a high level. I think you're of a high level. I had it sitting down for someone a special occasion.
Did you?
Yeah.
And it's me.
And it's you.
Of course.
And it's you. Well done. No, well done in everything you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing. Seriously.
you, yeah.
Seriously, I'm so proud of you. You're not my daughter, but you're my daughter.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And it's just like people should celebrate the beauty and achievements, and that's for you. Put down the tail on the
Yeah.
floor now.
I don't want to put it down on the floor.
Do your thing.
Like, yeah.
Do your thing. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I love it.
You're welcome. Going on, like that was a crescendo, but that was
like
you did
superstar. I feel
You
like
are a superstar.
superstar.
No, you are a superstar. You are a superstar. You're a superstar.
She is.
D, I don't know where to go from there. Like, I don't know where to go from there. Go on, just bring me a question.
What was it like bringing your boyfriend home to mum, knowing that she's
My man.
a Black Panther? Ish.
That's a good.
I didn't. My mum kind of wanted to meet him first.
Yeah.
I was kind of keeping him away from my mum a bit, and then my mum saw me go to his car outside, and she was like, "Hi, like
Yeah.
you know, if you wanted to come in, you could come in. Like this is my daughter." I was like, "Okay," but no, mama. I don't really know
What
how
you
to
need to
word
know
it. She's a
about
very
me, really?
weird. She's like, you know, Pingu. You know Pingu.
Pingu.
You know the penguin that don't talk.
Pingu,
And
okay.
he's like,
You know that?
Yeah, that was my
that
favourite.
is my mum, because my mum, she doesn't look like it, but she's kind of socially awkward. So if my mum meets you,
You're rushing your words. She's kind of what?
socially awkward.
Thank you, God.
So when my mum meets you,
I can see that
she
vein, D,
doesn't
you
know
I
how.
can see the vein, D. I can see the vein.
I'm even surprised how she's talking on here, because if she meets or she's in a surrounding that she doesn't know, she's like, this is how she say hi to my friends. Hi. Like at the door, hi, you alright? Until she reads your vibe, and then she'll tell me, oh, I like that one, and
Yeah.
then she'll ask them about their day. So I was a bit
Yeah.
like, yeah, my mum's gonna read him. If my mum doesn't like him,
Yeah.
if she gets a bad vibe,
Problem, yeah.
that's what she says. Her blood don't take to that one, and then I can't be friends with them.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
I
you
trust-
respect her.
No,
I
but you
respect it.
don't rephrase that.
Okay,
because
it's not that
you
I
don't cut them off.
No.
But you find out later on
that they did
that
something
they've
to
done
me.
something to her.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone my mum said is a bad vibe has
Always
been a
right.
bad.
Always right.
Yeah, always
Mum's
right.
best.
Always right. Even one girl I remember I met, not even to go into too much detail, but I met her at uni and my mum saw her on FaceTime and she said, "Hi, Saffron's mum."
On FaceTime,
yeah, like I was FaceTiming my mum and she's like, "Hi, Saffron's mum." My mum was like, on the phone. So I was like, oh gosh, like, didn't say hi or anything. And then it turns out a couple, like how long later, a year later, all this stuff come out about this girl. She took things from my room. So my mum knows when people were not right for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back to bringing my boyfriend home, all I thought was this is very black or white, to be honest, because she's not going to make me not talk to him. But if she says that he's not right, literally,
bang. Come on,
literally. But yeah, I thought it's black or white, isn't it? She either likes him or she doesn't like him. She's going to tell me if she doesn't like him.
And then to you, the same thing, because we heard him coming home and you, because this is your baby now. This is because she's the last one, isn't she?
Saffron. Yeah, she's my baby.
Proud. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I'm going to let you into a little secret. So, yeah, I come from that background from my mum's side. Very proud. My dad's very proud black man. Yeah. I'm a very proud black woman. I'm actually now married to a white man.
Imagine that's a you.
Yeah, but for me, you
was going to bring her back. She was going to be like,
it doesn't matter though. For me, it doesn't. All that stuff, like really and truly, it doesn't matter because you said it yourself. This is the human. This is the human. It's a human race. It don't matter.
It doesn't
and
matter.
The people that.
But you know what? For me too. And it is like a crossing over. It definitely is a crossing over, especially when you come from a certain family background. But then I said to you, on another hand, it was all right for the boys to do it.
But it's not all right for the girls to do it.
Yeah. Not for the girls to do it.
You're a traitor.
And my family's very male. It's loads of males in my family. As I said, I see everybody same colour. I married a man who I'd known since we went to school together. He went his way, I went my way. He went to Spain and he lived in Spain for 30 years. He came over, we met at the gym and I was just like brushing him off. And, and then he said, oh, let me take you out to dinner. But he did everything the right way. And I'm not saying it's because he's white. He did everything the right way for the person I was at the time that he met me. And he never asked me for anything. He never wanted anything. And all he cared about was that I was happy.
Yeah,
and I think we met, and I had a tragedy in my life. So we met, we started going out with each other, and I had a brother. My brother's 9 years younger than me. I was like his mum, and my brother was murdered. And
sorry to hear that.
He was murdered.
Rest in peace.
Did he live in this country?
Yes, he lived in this country. He lived in the town that we came from. It was either my brother was going to die or my daughter Armani was going to die. And that's the decision that was made at the time. Io's face is like, what? So.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
okay,
you're going to go up. Only if you want to.
Yeah, I'll expand on that. So my daughter Armani, who you lot have interviewed here, I'm surprised she never brought it up, but maybe it's not the time for her to bring it up. Everybody's got their healing point. She was in the town where we live. There was this black man. Well, he was in his early 20s. He'd started to hit on her. And he's somebody that we knew around the way because Basildon is very small. Anyhow, he started to follow in her. She didn't want his advances and she kind of said, leave him alone. My brother was in the barbers at the time. And this guy just wouldn't leave her alone. So she phoned my brother and said, this guy's harassing me. Can you come and meet me? Now, our town is kind of like a circle. So when Armani went that way, my brother came out the barbers from here and he went that way instead of going this way to meeting them. Anyhow, guy was harassing Armani. You can see her from the court videos and that she had an umbrella up and she was shielding herself. And he was saying that he was going to stab her. He was going to kill her. And my brother just came round, saw what was happening, gave this guy such a punch in his head, kind of threw him off guard. So he kind of described in court and he stabbed my brother 4 times and my brother died at the scene with Armani trying to hold his wounds together or whatever. Man. And then he ran off and but he was caught soon after. Very traumatic time. My brother lying on the ground there. I think even his blood stain is still there. This happened 6 years ago. Previous year to that, my mother had died, so it was just me and my brother. And so my brother's died, and I've lost my point where I was actually going.
But you meet your husband at a traumatic time.
Yeah, so I met my husband at the end of February, and this happened June 28th to my brother. So you can imagine that was all the family I had. That was my everything, my brother. Anyhow, he went. So my husband. Imagine meeting a woman and from my point of view, I've got 3 daughters, I'm a single mother, I've got this, and then bloody hell, I've landed this on his doorstep. This man took it so much in his stride. If it wasn't for him and my kids, I probably would be in a mental. This was the point in my life that if I was to break, this would have broken me. This would have done it. I actually used to imagine myself, I could sit in this chair and not ever have to do anything ever again and just pretend I was mad. That's the point I got to, that I just wanted to cut off from life now. That is it for me. And he brought me through all of that. Obviously with my children, there was a murder trial. My brother's body couldn't be laid to rest. It couldn't be kept the right way because the guy kept saying certain things to his lawyers. Then he didn't have his lawyers. Then he did a shit... what do you call it? When they come protest, where he wouldn't come to court. All of that happened, and and he
defended himself.
He defended himself
in front of us, like a normal barrister, not behind anything.
Yeah. So we went through it. And my husband, going back to my husband, he literally carried us emotionally through all of that time. And he said to me one day, he used to take me down to Southend, and we used to just sit on the beach just to get me away from stuff. And he said, what would you want for your birthday? I know it's coming up for my birthday. I think this was about July, August time. And I'm born September 20th. And he said to me, what would you want for your birthday? And I said to him, I'd want to get married to you. Do you know this man, all we had to do was go and get our dresses made. Amazing wedding. He got the car, he got the venue, he got everything. He took me to this bridge, which was like a memory to us, and he proposed to me on one knee and gave me my amazing. I cannot fault this man for anything. Name? It's Jason Martin.
I'm so angry.
I'm not. Mate, don't get twisted, please. No, I know you, but I'm not saying joking thing. I love you, bruv. I never knew nothing of this about you, and I can't wait to meet him because you know how much I love you. Seriously, it's fucking serious. It's serious things, man. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I didn't know nothing about this. I didn't know nothing about this, D. Where was I here? Was I in America at the time?
It was 2016.
So I was in America. I just gone in it.
Just gone. And this happens.
Wow, D, I'm sorry, man.
But that's the thing. Wow. He's like a really close friend of mine.
I'd put the man off the fucking road if I was here. I swear to God. I swear to God.
And I have people that would. Do you know what? It was just a case of I just felt, what more can at the time God throw at me? What more can I suffer? What more can I do? And then I just thought, and then someone said to me, do you know what, God wouldn't send you anything, you get that you can't handle. And I was just like, I've had enough. And I felt I was breaking. I'm sure my kids saw me. I felt like I was breaking so badly.
You ain't told me this, yeah? You see, I can't wait to meet my man now, Nah, seriously, what's his name again?
Jason.
Yeah. God bless you, Jason. When you see this, nah, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. If I,
he held,
seriously, from the bottom of my heart. You know how much I love this woman? my man. Love and admiration and respect for you, from my heart to you. Trust me. Seriously, no, that's serious. Yeah. I'm serious. I'm on verge of crying myself right now. You never told me nothing. God bless Jason. Seriously, I can't wait to meet him now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it like thing. Want to buy him a drink? We're gonna have a laugh and everything. But oh my God, wow. Yeah.
So that and I don't really. I was going to say I should celebrate him a bit more. The mic's gone.
No, you celebrate. His mic's gone.
I do celebrate him, but just going back, he that's the reason why, we got married. Not the reason why. I just felt that no one has ever shown me such dedication and love and support ever in my life.
God bless him, man.
Ever.
God bless him, man.
And people will see us and like, oh gosh, I didn't expect you to be with him. No, man, it's he's so kind.
Wow. I can't wait to meet him, I swear to God. I can't wait to meet him. I'm like, hopefully he'll I'd love to meet. I can't wait to meet him, man. Seriously. You never told me shit. You ain't told me nothing, man. You never told me nothing at all.
I don't, because I find that people come to me with their problems. I don't burden.
Yeah, look what your mum said. They'd probably come back if you told me them things. You know that, innit? No, but more than likely. But wow, just thank God that Jason was there for you.
He was there.
Thank God you got through it.
Yeah.
And now everything makes a lot more sense. What you told me, like what you do, because you told me bits. It makes so much sense now. Like seriously, wow. God bless you, Jason, man. Seriously, I can't wait to meet him. I swear to God, can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to meet him. Yeah, I'm gonna have to now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to now. Seriously, big up the chest, large every time, man. Wow,
So
wow.
it's not really about colour.
No way.
It's not about colour. It's about people.
Wow.
I don't really run off of those schemes. I feel like those are part of the programming that we've been given.
Definitely, definitely. And within families, it's just, I find, we always talk about this, within black families, there's just, it's so toxic sometimes.
There's so much to learn from each other. You know, like everyone's always saying, so much people take from our culture. Well, why don't we take from other cultures as well then? You know what I'm saying? Because like, even as someone that's had experience with it, what do you feel like men of our culture could learn from men of other cultures that you have seen?
Men of our culture have to be nurtured. Women, nurture your boys. You don't have to be this hard man.
Yeah.
They need to have a childhood. These black guys out there need to have a childhood. If I had a boy, I guarantee you my boy will be so well rounded. And I think black, it's really hard one to say, but it's like black females who have these boy children seem to want to lean on them.
They treat them like a husband.
It's not your husband.
It's not your husband. It's
not
your
your
son.
man. He's not there to listen to your problems. He's not there to go out and make money to bring into the household. You done that. You laid down. You had him. Now you provide for him. Until he's of such an age that he can naturally go and provide. I've never charged any of my kids rent money.
Serious.
Right? It's not for them to provide. I laid down and I had them. And now I must pave the way that their life is easier than my life was. I even had a talk with my dad the other day, and he was trying to school me about
Stay on the mic.
Trying to school me about things. And me and my dad have an up and down relationship because we wasn't always in each other's lives. And he tries to school me and this. And I just don't take it. Because I just think there's a lot of things that happened in my childhood. You wasn't there. Okay, you was not there. All right, I respect you as my father, and you can say, but please, there's certain things you can't tell me about. You can't. And he was like, well, you make sure that you're there for your children. Hello, where was you? Don't tell me about my children, because I made sure. Unfortunately, I did the opposite to my childhood to make sure my kids' childhood was better, was good. Maybe that was their role in my life, to show me all the bad things that could happen so that I could correct them and be better. I mean, some people I think are not making better. They're not doing better. They want to follow the same pattern when it never worked in the first place. So why are you following it?
Or they're upset with certain things, and they're letting that whatever relationship they have with the partner depict how they treat the child, or what goes with the child, because the child even looks like the partner.
I even had my mother who says, "Oh, you just look like your dad. You look like your dad."
And that caused a problem in some people's minds.
I had that. Do you know what I mean? So you need to think. You need to realise that. That's the I mean, I guess when I went to Barbados, my grandmother was a very religious woman, and I went to a religious school, and I went to church, and maybe that's what made me sit down and think about things stuff. Because when I sit in a church now, I feel so at ease. I'm not a regular church goer, but when I go in there, I just feel like my worries, not that I have much now, but my worries are off my shoulders. I mean, obviously, I have my brother that I grieve for badly, and there's times where I have to hide it, but my family unit allows me to have my moments. They understand. I'm sure they know when I need those moments, because I'm not one to open up just straight away like that. I hold a lot of stuff in, and I probably haven't got over him yet, but I will. I just think with women and their boys in general, you just have to let them be children, and maybe they will grow up. I can't guarantee it, but maybe they will grow up different. I can't say, well, because you're black, you treat your women like this. No, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right like that. I think it's our society. We need to start looking within our families and getting rid of toxic elements in our families.
Wow. I'm still blown back by everything, but I'm happy that you're here in front of me. I'm happy I know now. Serious. Wow. Look, Saf, have you got anything else you want to say before we wrap up this show? And it's like, you got the stage is yours. Anything you want to tell anyone your age, younger than you, older than you, anyone going into law, anything you want to say about your life, what makes you anything, absolutely anything.
Yeah,
this is your stage.
General.
All right, then.
I'll just say anything.
All right, so what do you want me to? I can't ask you what you want me to ask you. D, can you answer a question for me?
Okay, so Saffron.
Wait.
What? So what made you? I know you went through uni, and as you were working through uni, obviously you had the lockdown, you had pandemic. You've worked through all of that. What made you then start your lash business?
You want to start Tsunami?
In it, but I think I just wanted something different. That's it. That is literally. I was so intrigued as to how somebody did eyelashes that I wanted to be able to do it. I didn't.
Individual.
You're lying.
What?
You were so intrigued at the money that people were paying for lashes. You thought,
Yeah, exactly.
I can do
Because
that.
I saw, and I thought, why am I going to sit here? I was managing Ladbrokes at the time.
Yeah.
So I thought, why am I going to sit here? I've got to do my uni work, and then
Do
I've
the
got them
books,
telling
numbers.
me when I have to go to work and when I don't, when I could literally work from home and work for myself and then go to work when I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is true. Yeah, it was probably the money and the flexibility.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I literally, yeah.
Do you want to ask your mum a question? Don't be shy. Anything you want to ask her anything.
Yeah, but she's, I don't know what to
Ask her.
ask.
Are you there to ask her anything you want to ask her?
Anything.
Anything. Yeah?
Maybe would you, if you could, would you pick a different path that we have taken?
Like my girls have taken in life.
Maybe me, yeah. If you could, would you have picked a different path
hello.
that I have taken?
Hello.
No.
So you wouldn't change anything that I've
Nothing.
done?
Nothing at all. Hand on heart, nothing at all. You've always done the right thing. Always done the right thing. And when you graduated, it was the proudest moment of my life.
Here we go with the tears of water.
I know, it was.
We're all on water
It was
today, man.
waterworks that day at the graduation.
I can imagine.
It was the proudest moment of my life. It really,
imagine.
because you know
I
when
just couldn't believe that a child of mine had graduated from uni with one of the highest accolades.
What is it?
first class.
The first class. So, like, and that she was mine.
Yeah.
That from all this adversity and what I've come from, and even my own family members looking down at me at certain points in my life, that I can have a child like.
Well done. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Come on. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Seriously, that's another.
More tears.
More tears. Thank you so much for coming, Saffron.
Anyway,
Dionne.
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Amazing episode with you guys. Can't wait to see you guys again.
Yep.
That was Life Talks with Fawole. We've got the voice behind the camera. We've got the wizard. Come on. Saffron Dionne from, where is it in? Basildon. Amazing people. Love you guys, you know. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, man. Seriously. Aye.